so on the day of our appointment, we drive about 45 minutes to downtown Los Angeles into this big government building. And upstairs there is an immigration officer who's waiting for us. He guides us into this room, and we felt like we were in the wrong place. I mean, the people there were visibly upset. And he tells us, just sit and wait until you hear your last name. So after a while, my dad asked me to find out how long this was going to take. So I get up and I go to the same officer, and I was like, hey, do you know how long this appointment might take? Because, my dad has to get back to work. And he tells me, oh, your dad will go back to work. Just not in this country. I mean, going back was not an option. We were considered traitors. We'd be arrested as soon as we got off the plane. So I sat down and I told my dad this, and he just lost all of the color on his face. And suddenly he's hunched over and he's grabbing his chest. He's visibly in some kind of pain. So I go back to the same officer and I was like, hey, do you think I could use your phone? Because, my dad's not doing too well right now. And he said, no. So I was like, okay. Can I use the bathroom? And he lets me. So I open up these double doors and I'm running down the hallway and I'm trying to find a phone so I can dial our attorney's number. See, our attorney was really pissing me off right now because we didn't even have money for food sometimes. But the one thing we always wanted to make sure we had money for was an attorney. And so for her to not be here right now was really pissing me off. And so this girl picks up the phone and she sounds like she's about, 18 years old. And I'm asking her to put our attorney on the phone and she keeps refusing. I'm telling her, look, this is an emergency. Please put Johnny on the phone. And I hear Joni's voice. And I am explaining to her that something is wrong with my dad. And they're not letting us get help for him. And you know what she tells me? She tells me to just sit tight and she's going to see what she can do. And so after about 45 minutes, a man walks in and he calls her last name. So all four of us get up and we're following him. We're not sure where, but we're following him. And he guides us into this room that is so small that only my dad and I can fit in it. And there's this man who's working behind the desk, and he just handed us a piece of paper that said our visa had been extended for 3 months so that we could get my dad some medical help. And so at the end of 3 months, we go back to our final appointment, this time with our attorney. And I noticed that it's a different judge who's sitting there. He was an older gentleman, and he looks a lot more intent. And this judge carries on with our attorney for a while, and then he turns his attention to my dad. And after asking some basic questions, he asks if my dad is a translator, and my dad says, my daughter will translate for us. And so the judge turns his attention to me, and he says, young lady, whatever I tell you, you tell him exactly, nothing more, nothing less. And whatever he tells you, you tell me exactly, nothing more, nothing less. I agree. And so he starts asking my dad questions, really demeaning questions. Like, do I understand correctly that you and your family came here on forged papers? And my dad says, well, yes, and then he goes into this long explanation, but the judge cuts him off and says, I don't care about the explanation, I just want to hear yes or no. And so this goes on for a while, and it is not going well at all. And finally the judge says, we here in the United States don't give citizenship to people who break the law. We can't, and I won't. I see my dad rising out of his seat, and he starts unbuckling his belt, at which point I'm thinking, he has completely lost his mind. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he lifts up his shirt on the right side. He looks at the judge, and in his native language, he says, this is what the communists did to me. He's pointing at a 5-inch knife scar. And then he turns around a little and pushes his pants down and says, "This is what the communists did to me." And he's pointing at 3 gunshot wounds. And he takes the shoes off, and he takes his socks off, and he says, "This is what the communists did to me." And he's pointing at his toenails, which they had tried to take out with fire. And I remember thinking, I know I'm hearing what I'm hearing, but it wasn't registering because I'm translating all these horrible things while also learning for the first time about my dad's whereabouts. All those times, years ago when I didn't know where my dad was, wondering if he cared about me. He was in prison being tortured. And so, the judge comes back about an hour later, and he goes into his chambers and he grabs something and he starts walking towards my dad. And my dad gives his hand to the judge. And the judge puts a stamp in it. And together they stamp our paper. And when they move their hands, it reads, "Asylum granted." It took us 18 years from the day that we got here for me to be granted American citizenship. And on January 29, 2009, I was sworn in as an American citizen and pledged allegiance to my new home. And it is through my 2 children, my 2-year-old son and my unborn child still in my womb, that I will make sure that this gratitude that overflows in my heart will continue to live on long after I am gone.